Welcome back. In this video, we are looking at IELTS Writing Task 1, bar charts. As always, we're going to analyze the task, review the method and structure, review the marking criteria, and I'll show you a sample with an analysis. Here comes our task. Now we'll start with the instructions. It says the bar chart, so a single bar chart, shows men's and women's prize money at golf majors in 2010. And all the other instructions come with every task one. Here is our chart. Pause the video now if you want to have a quick look yourself. Otherwise, we're going to analyze it together in a moment. Before we do that, here's a refresher of the method. So we analyze and plan, 3 minutes for that. We follow the structure, writing with the criteria in mind, 15 minutes for that, and then check our work for 2 minutes. Let's analyze and plan. So let's start with a look at the axes and the heading. It says winners, prize money at golf majors. And then we've got down the side here, the money. So 500,000, 1 million, 1.5, 2 million, $2.5 million. Along the bottom, we've got the golf majors or the golf championships. So ANA, Evian, Masters, US Open, PGA. And the two bars in the chart, there's blue, which is the men's winner earnings, and the red, which is women. Now, our first question to ask is always this: is it a snapshot or are we looking at change over time? So a really good clue is in the heading that's 2010. And clearly, this is not change over time. This is a snapshot or a static graph. So here we are not looking at trends. We're not interested in increases and decreases. This is about comparing and contrasting. And let's focus in on these two elements. So firstly, who won more money? Is there a clear trend in the graph? And very clearly there is. Look at these huge blue parts of the graph and the tiny red parts. So definitely men won more money in all cases. Now, over here on the left, it's a little bit weird because there's only one red here and one blue here, whereas there are both of them on this side of the graph. Why is that? Well, obviously these two, ANA and Evian, were women's only competitions, and the Masters is a men's only competition. Another question as we look down here at the bottom is which competition paid the most? So we're always interested in those high points, the top, the best, the biggest. Which competition paid the most for men and which paid the most for women? So the blue line, the top blue line is here. This is the US Open. And it's the same for women. So women earned the most money in this. Clearly, this is the most lucrative golf tournament for both sexes. Another thing to consider is grouping. So remember that we have our intro overview and two key features. So you're always looking for a way to separate the information in the graph into two different things. So when you look at this graph, how would you separate the information? There are a few different ways to do it. You might want to deal with men in one paragraph, women in another paragraph. That's fine. And the way that I'm going to do it is by grouping these ones together, because they're women and men only competitions. And then I'm going to talk about these three together as well. What you don't want to do is just go from left to right with no purpose. So really look at it and think about how can I logically put this information together. Then we need to follow the structure, same structure as always: intro, overview, key features. And write with the criteria in mind: task achievement, coherence and cohesion, lexical resource, grammatical range and accuracy. So as you're writing, you're always thinking about how can I use my linking in a sophisticated way? How can I demonstrate range of vocab, demonstrate range of grammar, and also maintain accuracy? Here's my sample, so pause the video now and read through. Notice in particular how I've grouped information in the key features paragraphs. Pause now. Now let's read through it together. The introduction, which is just a rewording of the prompt, The given bar chart compares the amount of prize money won by men and women at various golfing competitions in 2010. Then the overview. Overall, men tended to earn substantially more money than women in each of the competitions where both sexes participated. So that's these three competitions to the right of the graph. In the two women-only competitions, the average prize money was also considerably lower than the one in which only men competed. So then that sentence is all about these three over here. Then into the key features paragraphs, and you'll notice how I've separated the information into the three dealing with the single-sex competitions here, according to the bar chart in the ANA and Evian Championship majors, which were open only to women, relative clause. Winnings were under $500,000, so that's these two over here. In contrast, prize money for the men-only Masters Golf Major was nearly $2 million here. So same information as the overview, but more detail, and in particular, data included here. And then the other three. In the three championships in which both men and women compete, the US Open, the Open Champ, and the PGA, there was a strikingly similar trend. So I'm comparing here. Male winnings were almost triple those of female earnings in two of them, while in the US Open, they were double. Okay, so about triple here, and about double here. Then some data, some more specifics. Female prize money fell between $500,000 and $800,000, whereas men's winner earnings began at just under $2 million, with the US Open winnings, the most lucrative of the competitions, higher than that. So here and then higher. You can see from this sample that when I write, I have the criteria in my mind. I'm putting in linking words, I'm comparing, I'm contrasting, I'm demonstrating range with relative clauses, complex sentences, all of those things you should be doing. So let's analyze with our criteria checklist, starting with task achievement. So have we presented a clear overview of the main trends, stages, or differences? In this particular graph, we're really interested in the main differences. So there are no stages, it's not a process, and there are no trends because it's not a change over time graph. So my overview is here. It's clearly signaled with overall at the beginning. And I've mentioned the fact that men earn more than women, basically in everything, but I've grouped them into those two different sectors. So overview, tick. Have I mentioned all the elements? So in this case, you need to mention all of the competitions and obviously the men and women, and I've done those things throughout. Have I presented and highlighted each key feature? So what things would you report to somebody who couldn't see this graph? Those are the key features. And I've highlighted what I consider to be the key features here in red. So I've mentioned the female only and the male only competition, and then I've highlighted this big contrast in earnings in the three which contain both men and women. Next one, have I used data? In this case, it's all about money. So we need $500,000, $2 million, $500,000, $800,000, just under $2 million. That's the data that is required to score 7 and above. And lastly, have I reported accurately? Yes, I have. Coherence and cohesion. So information is organized logically. Yes, I always follow that same structure. So there's no danger of repeating myself or going round in circles. It is organized logically. Have I used paragraphs? Definitely. You can see them 1, 2, 3, 4. And linking devices, have I used a range? And are they used appropriately, correctly? Here are some of them. Overall, where, which, in contrast, while, and whereas. Onto lexical resource now. Have I demonstrated a wide range of vocabulary? Here are some examples. Earn substantially more. Notice that verb, adverb, earn substantially more. Participated, considerably lower. Competed, see these two here, these synonyms, participated, competed, you could say took part in. Strikingly similar trend, nice collocation. Triple, earnings, double, the most lucrative. Have I demonstrated wide range? Yes, definitely. And is everything correct, including spelling? Yes, it is. Grammatical range and accuracy is the final checkpoint. Now, range of structures. Have I shown the examiner what I can do? Here are some. So one structure I've used is a reduced relative clause up here. The given bar chart compares the amount of prize money won by, so this is a reduced relative clause. The full relative clause would be the amount of prize money that was won. But you can take out that, take out was. The amount of prize money won by men and women. So that's a reduced relative clause. That's one structure. Comparatives and superlatives, another one. Men tended to earn substantially more money and considerably lower. And subordination. So this is connected to complex sentences, of course. Male winnings were almost triple those of female earnings in two of them, while, this is my subordinating conjunction, while in the US Open they were double. So yes, I've demonstrated range. Some more complex structures are here. So any sentence with a relative clause, like these ones, where, in which, and also subordinating conjunctions, while, whereas, those are complex structures. And finally, accuracy. I've edited carefully. There are no grammar errors and my punctuation is perfect, so no problem there. And once you've written your own task 1, save 2 minutes to go through and check carefully. That's the final part of the method. Use this checklist to do it. So once again, our method is to analyze and plan for 3 minutes. Write with the structure and the criteria in your mind for 15 minutes and check your work for 2 minutes. And that's how we write bar charts. And really that's how we write any task 1, which shows a snapshot or static information. So it's over to you, time to practice.